Is this you? You go to your computer really quick to find a file you know you downloaded and actually saved somewhere last week, only to find yourself back in your email inbox looking for the original and searching even longer, and you still can't find it? In this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you how I organize my digital files so that you can stay out of that searching rabbit hole and save yourself a whole lot of time. Hi there, I'm Melinda, the Orderly Entrepreneur, helping program and course launchers streamline their business and their super busy lives with productivity, system, and organizing strategies. As an organizer and an online business owner, it is a must-have for me to have my digital stuff in order. So what do I mean by digital stuff? It's pretty much anything and everything that you work with every day on your computer. Think client information, client files, content information, social media content, Canva images, stock images, blog post information, research, course study. All of that stuff is digital stuff, and we have to have it in order, because if we don't, we are wasting time and we are throwing money away. Most of the information that I use on a daily basis is digital, both on my computer and my phone. So like I said before, it's imperative, it's a must-have that it is in order. And if you're here watching this video, I'm sure that you are in that same situation. So the digital filing system that I use is Google Drive, and I use it in addition to my desktop. I have them sync, and that's what makes Google Drive so amazing. You can have all of your information both online and on your computer, so that no matter where you are or what situation you're in, you can access it. So here are some important considerations and things that I do in order to keep my files organized. So the first thing is to have a tiered system. And I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes what I mean by that visually. But what I mean by a tiered system is to have a set of main folders and then a set of subfolders for those and a set of subfolders for those, and so on and so forth. Because you don't want to have all of the information all in the main folders, because it'll be too much information to get filed properly and for you to be able to find it. The second thing I use, and something for you to consider, is to have a filing routine. When I say routine, it can mean a few different things to different people, but what I mean here is creating a system in which you file certain things all of the time. For example, if I find somebody that has a free printable that I want to download, like a productivity guide or something like that, I give them my email address and they send me the productivity guide, right? Well, what do I do with that? When I get that email, I automatically download the PDF, I open it, and I save it as something that I want it to be saved as in my education file that I have on Google Drive. I also break down my education file by person or topic or item, depending on what it is, and I can show you that in just a minute. The important thing is to have a system down, so every time I get a PDF, a free printable, or I download a mini course, I have a place to put it, and I do it right away. So I get the email, I download it, I put it away. That is a filing routine. You can also incorporate it into your startup routine or your shutdown routine in the evening when you are starting or stopping work. For example, I have a 5-minute digital organizing routine in my morning startup where I just give myself 5 minutes to organize stuff on my desktop, my downloads, or my Google file, my Google Drive, because I don't have all of my stuff in order yet. I'm still working on it, and it's a work in progress, but I have a system and it's working amazingly well. And even though it's just 5 minutes a day, it's getting it done rather than just pushing it off and wishing it was done. The third thing that I consider and would like you to consider as well is accessibility. I mentioned before that Google Drive is not only online, but can also be on your desktop, and that is why I use it for accessibility. So when I am on Wi-Fi, I can access everything in the cloud. When I am not on Wi-Fi, I can access everything on my computer. And so accessibility is a really big deal, because if you aren't on Wi-Fi, in a lot of instances, you don't have access to your documents if they're not on your computer. But if they're on your computer, then it's taking up all of the space in the memory. So that's why having it in the cloud is so amazing, and using the Google Drive is going to save you time, and it's going to help you out. The last thing I want you to consider is consistency. Consistency is key, and you'll probably hear me say this in pretty much almost all of my videos. You must be consistent. So the 5-minute routine that I have every day for my startup, I do that consistently. Sure, there's some days where I don't do it, and that's okay. And there's some days where I spend 20 minutes on it instead of 5, and that's great too. But the idea is to put it in a routine and to be consistent with it so that it gets done little by little. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to build in the habit of looking at it and the habit of putting things away. Same with your filing systems. If you have a system like the example I gave you with the free PDFs and downloads, if you don't do that every single time, they're going to get clogged up in your downloads. You're not going to be able to find them when you go to them, and you're going to be finding yourself searching your email for the original file again, like I mentioned at the beginning, and you don't want to do that. So you want to be consistent. Okay, so I gave you some considerations and I told you why I use Google Drive. Now I'm going to share my screen and show you how I organize my files. Okay, here we are inside of my Google Drive online. You can see here that there are only 3 files, and this is the beginning of what I am considering to be a tiered filing system, like I mentioned at the beginning. So I break all of my digital information down into business and personal. The third file here is a to file folder, and this is the information that I work on while I'm doing my digital organization time. So let me take you into the business folder. As you can see, this is another layer of my tiered system. So I have this simple tier here divided into 2, and then I go into here and I divide it again into another set of subcategories, and then inside of each one of these there are another set. So let me take you into the education folder, because we were talking about that before. So this is where I keep all of my PDFs and all of my course information and anything that I download off the internet, off of my email, or in any of the courses that I belong to. And this is my way of keeping it separate. So I go to my business file, I go to education, and I can find anything that I've downloaded. So let me give you an example of how I use this. Okay, we are here in my email, and I received this free productivity planner from Jasmine Star of Social Curator. I love Jasmine Star, and I love everything productivity, so of course I had to see what her productivity planner was like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this just as you would any other time. But when I download it, I'm going to put it where I want it to go specifically. So when I say download, I am going to tell it that I want it to go to my education folder. So what you're seeing here is the desktop version of my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on business and I'm going to go into education. And I don't have a folder with Jasmine Star's name or Social Curator in here. So I'm going to create a new folder, call it Jasmine Star. And then I'm going to put the planner, I'm gonna save it what she has it saved as, Productivity Planner Jasmine Star. save, and now it is where it's supposed to go. So it saved, it downloaded it, but it also saved it where I want it to be in my Google Drive. So as you can see now, if we go into my education file, we will see Jasmine Star. We click on it and the productivity planner will be right there for whenever I want to go back and use it. So this is a great way to take care of that type of information and everything else that you use in your online business. We, of course, are marketers and content creators and educators and all of the things, and this is a wonderful way to set up your file system. So just to review it really quick, break it down into simple categories first, whether it's business and personal, or maybe you have two businesses, maybe you have volunteering that you want to keep separate. Break them into simple, larger categories, and then dive in and go into other categories that you may want to divide them into, and then do another tier inside each of one of them. If you would like to learn more about my filing system and you'd want me to do a video on it, please put a comment below and tell me, and I will be sure to do that. If you'd like more digital and productivity hacks, check out the video right here. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment below. Tell me what you loved about it, and also tell me what you'd like to learn more about on The Orderly Entrepreneur. Be sure to subscribe so I can bring you more awesome content. I will see you in the next video.